Your creativity does not come from your walks or your vacation or from sleeping or stepping away. Your creativity comes from within you. Now, yes, I know those are very common things, and some of you are going to argue with me. Like, I have my best ideas when I go for a walk, or when creativity isn't coming to me, I just step away and then come back to it, and then it just seems to work. Although most of the time they just say, I step away from it, or I just wait for it to come back around. And that is the problem with those being solutions to your creativity. Because I have experienced this, and I'm sure you have too, and I know others, I know my clients have experienced this. You're working on a project, you feel stuck, you feel stifled, you're like, you know what, I just need to step away, so I'm going to go for a walk, because I always have my best ideas when I'm on a walk, right? So you go for a walk, and you have ideas. You're like, this is awesome, I'm so creative on my walks. You come back to your project, and you realize all the creative ideas you had on your walk had nothing to do with your project. It's unreliable. Taking a nap and waking up, yeah, you're going to feel more refreshed. You're going to be more in tune to yourself because you've refreshed your energies. Totally get that. But that doesn't mean that you're going to have solutions for the project that you decided you had to walk away from. Creativity comes from within you. It's not because you went and escaped, and because you're escaping, automatically you're going to come back and have the exact right creativity that you need for what you were avoiding in the first place. If you build a practice of working on your creativity, you can get a persistent flow of creativity. You can turn it on when you want. You can turn it off when you don't need it. It takes practice, though, to go through and do it. It's not a ritual. You don't conjure it up. It's always within you. It's actually always there. It is always continuous within you. It's just you understanding how to access it is the part that is unreliable if you don't feel like you can be creative when you choose to be creative. So there's no magic pill for it. The way to do it is to learn about yourself. You've got to explore your own creativity, start to understand your unique creative flow, what you do when you feel all of the creativity coming to the surface. The more you do that, the more you understand yourself. And as the more you understand yourself, naturally, you're going to trust yourself more. And it's in that trust, that's where you start to develop the reliability of your creative flow. That's where you start to get the continuous creative flow, where you're going to feel like you can turn it on demand on any time that you want to. That's what you can get to. But it all starts with understanding yourself. Understanding, what do I think when I'm creative? What do I feel when I'm creative? What's my body position like when I'm creative? Am I all closed up or am I all open? Probably open. Are you moving when you're in your creative flow? Those are the things that you want to figure out. And once you start documenting them, then you can start documenting the opposite side, because that is important to understand the polarity of everything. Because somewhere in the middle is always your answer. Somewhere. So if you define what it is to be in flow, the next thing is what does it mean to be in stuck? And understand the difference. So when you're heading into stuckness, maybe you don't get that far into stuckness. So if you think about it as a spectrum, stuck, right? Here's my spectrum of stuck, and here's where I start, and I'm in flow. But when I get way over here, gosh darn it, I'm super stuck, and I have to go for that walk just to get out of my own head, just for my own sanity, right? But what if you could start noticing it here? So you never get to that point where you have to go for a walk. You notice, like, I'm in flow, things are working, it's awesome, and then, oh, darn, I recognize that stuck. Red flag. And if I ignore it, I just get a little bit further. And if I ignore it more, I know I'm going to get here. And I know I'm going to end up here. And maybe you've even sensed that before. Like you've noticed there's a red flag. You may not even know exactly what the red flag is, but you hear the inner voice like, this is not going to end well. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. Oh my gosh, this is the worst, right? I've been there before. And I don't really get there anymore. I notice some of the very first signs of when I'm getting stuck, and then I can go into what I know is my flow. So for me, one of the first things is that I touch my face. Now I touch my face for a few different reasons. Sometimes I might be tired. And that also, being tired is kind of a form of stuckness. It just means your energies are running low. So if I notice that, oh gosh, I'm touching my face, so I'm pausing, I'm stopping. If you stop, you're stuck, right? You're not in flow, you're not in a rhythm. So as soon as I do this, then I sit and I think, am I just tired? Do I just need to take a break because I'm feeling like I'm running out of energy? Or is there something else I can do? Because actually, when you're feeling low on energy, you could actually do something to feel more energized. For me, I can sketch out a few things and I actually feel more energized. So because the sketching used a certain amount of energy that it consumed, but it produced and generated so much more. And when you can start to learn those things about you, that's another great tool to have, is what are your return on investment in terms of energy that excel. For me, that's sketching. It requires just a little bit of effort, but I get bonus energy levels. So when you're tired, sometimes you just really need to take a nap. You need to rest. You need to not work so much. We all need breaks too. So as soon as I touch my face in any way, shape, or form, there's lots of ways that I do this. As soon as I do that, then I'm like, am I just tired? Am I running low on energy? Or am I starting to doubt myself and second guess myself or question what I'm doing? Or am I getting overwhelmed? There's something that's heading towards getting some form of stuck. So now, as soon as I touch my face, I'm like, oh, what's that all about? Why am I touching my face? And then I can, with intent, do the action, the activity, have the feelings or have the thoughts that are going to help move me in the direction that I want to go. So if that's to go take a break, then I go take a break. If that is to stop doubting myself, then I figure out how I stop doubting myself. And I have lots of tricks in how I go through and do that. But your creativity comes from within you. That's all within me. It has zero to do with what is external. Just going for a walk, it can be helpful sometimes, but it's not always helpful. It's also not always practical. I've been in numerous situations where going for a walk is not practical. So what I'm here to tell you is let's broaden what you have at your disposal, your tools, your strategies to help your creativity. That's really what I want to do. I don't want to tell you to not walk. There's lots of awesome benefits for walking. And I do have ideas when I walk as well. But I don't want you to rely on that the only time you can be creative is when you go for a walk. And that's really what my message is here. And I hope that's coming through and you've got some tips here that you can start doing this for yourself. Because the more we are creative, the more we show our inner self. Because creativity isn't about just making things for other people or creating services. Our creativity creates us. We create ourselves. We are our own self-creator. That's why I push creativity so much.